Hi, my Gemini and Gemini Rising friends. Sandra from ForYourChi.com. We're here today to do your monthly reading for October 2021. Thanks for being here. Geminis, you guys were a pleasant surprise last month. You tied the Scorpios in the most liked video. So I'm recording yours and Scorpios first. I must have struck a nerve with the Gemini reading, particularly in that first house. It seems like you guys are pulling the most dramatic cards in your first house, and this month is no exception. So thank you for hitting that like button. Please continue to do so that I can record your reading for the first time, or the first reading that I record for the month of November. So October for you, Gemini, starts out with a bang. The solar plexus chakra has you feeling like you're claustrophobic or you are hyperphobic over something and you need a paper bag because you're hyperventilating. Typically, this card indicates unfounded fears. So make sure that what you're freaking out about is really actually happening and it's not something else. Because when this card is pulled, it's like unfounded fear. I'm pausing because the camera is catching up. Happy Mercury retrograde, by the way. Can you feel it yet? When this card shows up, it's almost as if you are freaking out, telling yourself that this particular situation or event is happening all over again, but that's typically not the case. What's the advice card here? We have the Novice, which talks about innocence, beginnings, could be new beginnings, ignorance, new skill learning without practice, and unstable curiosity. Now that is a bit of a warning for the Geminis. I would, try not to push other people's buttons too much at the beginning of October because you don't want to be the cause of your own phobic fear here. Just sort of take a back seat. I know it's hard for Geminis because you guys can never turn your mind off, right? The mind is constantly wandering. But it would be advised to take a chill pill. Now, this is definitely a warning we have here. Second house, in your house of stuff and your money, you have deception and envy. I don't like this card, but I particularly do not like this card in the second house because that means that someone is trying to get in your pocket, Gemini, or if they're already in your pocket, they're trying to do something sneaky. This is the Seven of Swords in traditional tarot, as you can see, as depicted by the Seven of Swords, and in this deck, Deception and Envy. This person is not looking you straight in the face, not straight in the eyes. They are shifty-eyed. They are not answering your questions. You need to ask this person lots of questions, face-to-face or by video chat, gauging their body language, reading what's between the lines, and figuring out what's under the surface. As if that weren't bad enough, we have this goblin ego card here. So, and this is the advice deck out of the Wisdom of Avalon. It could be, Gemini, that you see this sneaky SHIT happening and you are calling it out, as you should, and someone is getting a bruised ego over you calling them out because they just assumed that they were going to walk all over you and railroad a Gemini and steal your money or borrow your money with no intention of paying back, or borrow your stuff and ruin it, and the Gemini just isn't going to have it. Don't tell the Gemini what to do. Am I right? Third house, siblings. Okay, this is the karma card. So your sibling, brother or sister, has a very big event happening to them in October. It's going to be different for every single one of you. What is this about? We have the movement card. So if they have been stagnant in their life, or they've been feeling like they haven't been going anywhere, or they've been spinning their wheels, or they're on the hamster wheel, there are big things actually happening. This is not a joke. This is not a test. This is the real deal. Whatever this is, for some of them, it could mean meeting a soulmate. It could mean marrying a soulmate. It could mean acquiring a certain sum of money. It could mean packing up and moving across the country or to a different country. Something big is happening here to them. And you may get news of that if you are on good speaking terms. Fourth house, house of home. You have the universe card, which is very fortunate. However, the universe always works in mysterious ways. Now, for some of you, this could be talking about your father, because sometimes the father shows up in the fourth house as well. What is the wisdom card of Avalon here? We have death. Okay, so you guys pulled the death card last month in the tarot deck, not in the, technically it was pulled in the oracle too, right? If it was, I believe the card was time to move on, so, that could be considered the death card if that deck did have a death card per se. So, this means movement for you too, Gemini. So this could mean you are packing up and moving, or you are planning to move, or you are planning to put your house on the market. This could also mean that your father is experiencing a transition in his life, because we have the death card and the universe all tied up here in one. It definitely doesn't have to mean a physical death, particularly when the death card shows up in the oracle message. That could just mean major changes, of course. We have good news. Okay, finally. It took 5 houses to get here. Well, the sibling was good, but it's not for you guys, so it doesn't really count. 5th house, fertility. Fertility is the planting the seed card for what you're going to reap in the future. Now, the 5th house rules your dating life. For those of you single Gemini, it also rules your social network, your friendship group. This could mean that you're networking. This could mean that you're putting feelers out. This could mean that you are solidifying new friendships. Good news. The hawk shows up here. Now the hawk talks about signs and omens. Yes, signs and omens, and also master number 11. So some of you may be 11 life paths, or the number 11 may have some significant other meaning for you. You may be born on the 11th of a month, for example, or you may be seeing 111. For those of you that are seeing repeated numbers, pay attention to those numbers that you are receiving. Write them down, or immediately look them up and Google angel number 111, or whatever the pattern is that you're seeing, and get the meaning immediately, because your guides and angels are sending you messages in the form of numbers. Now, your 6th house of work and health, you have power. This is a challenging card. It is not going to be an easy month at work for you. It is going to be challenging. There will be significant issues with communication in the month of October, particularly because of Mercury retrograde, but also because of this message that I'm getting for you right now. Work, you're going to have to put a lot more effort than you're wanting to, unfortunately, in October. What is happening here? Forgiveness. Now, for some of you, this could mean that you have a health issue going on, an ailment, and you're not getting any help from your current physician. You may need to seek a second opinion if that message resonates with you. And you're also going to have to forgive the doctor for not knowing and not holding the grudge. You definitely don't want to hold this grudge. The grudge could actually hold you back from moving forward in your life in other ways. I know it's weird, but sometimes it's just weird chains that bind you. That's all I can say. Okay. What do we have here in your relationship house? Emotional loss. So Gemini, there's something missing from your relationship. And those of you single Geminis, I can hear you laughing saying, yeah, it's a person. But you pulled the Queen card. So the Queen is the Empress, in my opinion, in this deck. And she is sitting on her throne. She's not going out there and looking right now. She is sitting there receiving. And the goods are coming to her. So, I would advise, and I don't give this message out. In fact, I cannot recall a single time when I've actually given this message, because usually I give this message with the sacral chakra. You guys pulled that too, but it wasn't in your house. It was in the 11th house. We're going to get to that in just a minute. It's important not to focus on the problem here. Now you may say, well, I'm going to go get some, if you're in a coupled situation, you're in a relationship with someone else, and you might say, well, I'm going to get some therapy, or we're going to get couples counseling. No problem there. No problem. You know, you can always work on the situation, but for here in this message, the message is not to focus on it constantly, because the act of focusing on it is not helping. Okay? You need to be more like this Queen here. The Queen knows what she deserves. She knows what's owed to her. She knows what's coming to her, and she's not fussing about it. She's not worrying about it. She just knows that it's automatically going to come in the time that it needs to come. Okay? 8th house, very interesting. You guys pulled Authority, which is the Emperor card. So it's funny that we should pull the Emperor immediately after this, the Empress message. Okay, so Authority means a strong, domineering alpha type figure. It could be female, but typically it's male. If it's a female, she's a very strong female. The 8th house rules sex, taxes, legal matters, and the source of your significant other's income, if you guys have that. And last but not least, intimacy. You could very well be approached by an alpha for the purpose of nothing but a one-night stand. So, you know, beware for those of you that this actually happens. For others of you, this could mean that an alpha is coming to your rescue if you have a tax or issue, or tax, legal, or contract issue, and the alpha is here to provide you some assistance. Birth and rebirth in the advice card with this oracle deck. Okay, so this tells me that there is a new beginning somewhere. This could be in your intimacy department for those of you who have been looking for a change there. This could be the help that I was talking about with the contracts or the taxes or the legal matter that's bringing you offerings that you did not previously have. So that is a good thing. 9th house rules your travel, rules your school for those of you that are in school. Partnerships and alliances. This is you making an agreement to either go to school, sign up for a class, or it's you making an agreement with someone else to go on a trip. The Deer here, gentleness and diplomacy. So the Deer is on a certain path, and I'm hearing something about trajectory. So whatever this is that you're doing here, this is putting you on the path of a brand new beginning. And this is divinely guided, and you're getting a green light. So, if you've been considering signing up for school and you haven't done it yet, you're waiting for confirmation or booking that trip, then here's your green light confirmation. I love it. 10th house, career, also rules your mother, for those of you who have mothers who are still on this planet. Patience is required at this time. Patience is a virtue. Your career is not exactly where you'd like it to be. However, you are going to work on this in the future. It's not time to drop everything and go do this new thing yet. You are still in the process of gaining and acquiring more knowledge. The Wasp is here. The Wasp is a negative card. It talks about anger, retaliation, and jealousy. Someone in your life may be jealous of you, or you may be jealous of someone else. Perhaps you were passed up for a promotion or something like that, Gemini. And also, your mother may be going through this. There are people that might be jealous of your mother. I'm getting a weird message for someone that their mother might be actually jealous of them. Very weird, but I certainly have heard that before. Okay, 11th house rules your children. Here we go with the sacral chakra. So you have a child. For those of you that have children, for those of you that don't have children, this is talking about a close friend, not an acquaintance. This is always like a best friend. This person is saying to themselves, I want this, I want that, I want X, Y, Z. In other words, they don't have it. They feel like they can't get it, and they are pushing it away. They are pushing it further away. And what needs to happen here? Wow, it couldn't be any more perfect. They need to change their perception, Gemini. So you will have to be the voice of reason that speaks to them and that gives them a new outlook on whatever the subject matter is. Put a positive spin on it, Gemini. You know you can do it. 12th house, the future. Okay, so look for this. I can't believe I'm saying this. 3 months from October, January. It doesn't seem real. Crown chakra says that you are being given guidance, advice from your higher power, your higher self, your guides, your angels that come in the form of thoughts that are dropped in. Oftentimes this happens in the morning and particularly in the shower. I have heard other people tell me that it happens to them when they are on the toilet, of all things. It's true. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but I have heard of this. Like, I can think of one person specifically who it's like generally the commode. That's where they get their messages. So take that, Reddit. They coined the term shower thoughts, right? Which is true. Now it's going to be commode thoughts. Toilet thoughts. What advice card do we have? Communication, card number 41. Okay, so they are definitely trying to communicate with you here, Gemini, in the month of January. If I were you, I would mark my calendar every day or every week in January as a reminder. Pay attention to the messages that are coming in my thoughts and write them down. Big information is coming to you in January. I can't wait to see what the January reading is for you and really what the yearly reading is for you with that message. Woo-wee. Thanks for being here with me, Gemini. Don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you share this with your Gemini and Gemini rising friends.